Hey everybody, today I want to talk about the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour album and specifically this German pressing of the Magical Mystery Tour album. And this is the best sounding Magical Mystery Tour I have ever heard. And I just listed it about 5 minutes ago on my website, needlemeetsvinyl.com. So this is up there right now. You can have this for your own collection. It sounds phenomenal. For those of you who don't know, Magical Mystery Tour was, of course, originally released by the Beatles in the UK as a double EP. So it only had 6 songs from the Beatles' Magical Mystery Tour movie that was released as like a TV special on the BBC. And as I'm sure a lot of you know, it was panned by the critics. The movie was. And I'm not going to get into that's a whole nother topic for discussion, which I might do sometime, do a review of the movie. I actually personally like the movie. But I'm just going to talk about the music and specifically this album. So in the UK, as I said, it was released as a double EP, but in the US, where they didn't release EPs, let alone double EPs, they put together, Capitol Records put together this album, which had the 6 songs from the EP on the first side, and then the second side is made up of all the Beatles singles from 1967. So you get like Strawberry Fields, Penny Lane, you get Baby You're a Rich Man, you get Hello Goodbye, and you get All You Need Is Love. So they put this compilation together, and later on, the Beatles, when they went to release their CDs in like the late 80s, ended up actually putting this out, this Capitol version of the album. They put it out on CD and made it an official band, I call it a band-approved album. So now, officially in the Beatles catalog, Magical Mystery Tour is considered an actual album from their catalog. It's approved by Apple Records and all that kind of stuff. So when I went to find the best sounding version of Magical Mystery Tour, I knew that the German pressings sounded excellent because, and this is a very, very important reason, this is the first time that you could get Magical Mystery Tour in true stereo, where the whole album was in true stereo, except, of course, for the second half of I'm the Walrus, which is in fake stereo. But that is actually how the actual Beatle-approved stereo mix has always been, and there's a number of reasons for that. But anyway, this album is all in true stereo, including all the songs on side 2. Now, the American version of Magical Mystery Tour, the stereo version, which actually this is a mono version, so I'll show you a stereo version. They look exactly the same. The stereo versions had the songs on side 1 were in stereo, but all the songs on side 2 were in fake stereo. So really, it was kind of a waste of time to buy the stereo version of this album. Now, the mono version of Magical Mystery Tour, released in the US, is a fantastic sounding record, and I like it a lot. In fact, I think eventually I will have a mono pressing of Magical Mystery Tour on my website. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the stereo pressings of Magical Mystery Tour. So this is the one that's on the website now, and it sounds it's just unbelievable. The bass on here is unreal. I know I'm always going on and on and on about these Beatle pressings and how the bass sounds so good. But the reason for that is because a lot of the pressings that we're all so familiar with the Beatles tend to kind of lack a lot of bass. So when you get a pressing that has excellent bass, it's just such an improvement, and it's so worth mentioning. And that is so true for this pressing of Magical Mystery Tour. Just has excellent bass. On top of that, the stereo image on this is unbelievably wide. It's so wide. For example, on the title track, which is the first song, Magical Mystery Tour, when the bus goes driving by, like that sound effect, on here it's unbelievable. It just goes from one end of the room all the way to the other. Very cool. In addition, I have to mention the song Baby You're a Rich Man on side 2 sounds unbelievable on here. If you've never heard that song on a German pressing, it's going to blow your mind. That song is one of the best recorded Beatles songs ever. I will just say that. It's not my favorite Beatles song of all time, but as far as the recording quality, it's It's just unbelievable. And there's a reason for that. It was recorded at Olympic Studios, and it was done all in one session with the engineer Eddie Kramer. Eddie Kramer, of course, was Jimi Hendrix's main engineer. He also went on to work with Led Zeppelin, and he just did a lot of just amazing work. But he did that one Beatles session, Baby You're a Rich Man, and just something about how they recorded that song. It's just excellent. And in fact, it has my favorite, and in my opinion, the best sounding bass tone ever is on that song and on this specific pressing of the album. So let me show you what the record looks like. It's on the Horzu, I think I'm saying that right, Horzu label, Apple label. And it's, of course, like I said, a German pressing. I'm probably saying that wrong, that Horzu. Maybe some of you can tell me the right way to say that in the comments below. Either way, it's Horzu. And like I said, Apple label, and there's side 2. And this record is in amazing, amazing shape. It just sounds so good. And this is an earlier German pressing of the album, and I happen to have a later one over here. This one sounds good as well, but it just does not compare to this one that's on the website right now. But this one, like I said, it does sound very, very good. And again, this is another German pressing of the album. And then, just for kicks, I will show you some other pressings of Magic Mystery Tour that I have. This is an original U.S. mono pressing of Magic Mystery Tour, and it's on the Capitol Rainbow label. And this is one of my favorite sounding records as well. And then I will show you this one. This is this is a stereo pressing, an original stereo Rainbow label. And I won't show you the label because it looks the exact same as I just showed you. But this is a stereo. And like I said, on side 2, the songs are in fake stereo, so it's kind of a weird version of the album. And then this one is another stereo. Is this also a Rainbow label? It is. This is another Rainbow label stereo, Magic Mystery Tour. So I don't actually own the original UK pressing of the Magic Mystery Tour EP, but I have friends that have it, and I've heard it, and it sounds very good, I have to say. But when it comes to owning Magic Mystery Tour, I think really the way to go is to have this German pressing, especially if you're a record collector and if you're a Beatle collector. This is just an essential Beatles album to add to your collection. And then also I will show you, this is the 2014, this is one of the mono remasters, and this sounds excellent as well. If you can pick one of these up, find it in one of your record stores, find it online. They're going for a little bit more, for a higher price than normal now, just because I think they're out of print. But this sounds excellent as well if you want to go for the mono version of this album, which I think is worth owning. And then this one I have over here is a later Capitol stereo pressing of the album. Yeah, and this is on the Capitol Orange label, as you can see there. And these ones sound okay, but again, they have the fake stereo, which is a bit of a drag. So, that is just kind of a little bit of a crash course on Magic Mystery Tour and my opinions of the album. And if you want to go on my website right now, needlemeetsvinyl.com, head over there, check it out. I did a big write-up on this, went into detail about how I ended up choosing this one as the best sounding pressing. And if you're interested in this, make sure to head to the website right away, because this is going to go very, very quickly. As I've said before, all the Beatle albums that I list on my website, they go within, it seems like the first 10 hours of them being on the website. They just vanish like that. So if you're interested in this one, make sure to head on over there and check it out. And if you're looking for a Magic Mystery Tour, this is the one to have. So I should also mention that on the website right now, and I will be making a separate video for this, I listed Paul McCartney's debut solo album, McCartney. I listed an amazing sounding copy of that on the website. That's available right now. It's a UK pressing, it's an early pressing, and it sounds really, really good. I also just listed an amazing sounding copy of the Eagles' Hotel California, which is just amazing. And I'm not a big Eagles fan, but I think that's such a classic album that if you're into collecting records and you want to have a pretty well-rounded record collection, that Hotel California is just an essential album that you should have in your collection. And this one I just posted, it sounds really, really good. It's just an excellent sounding record. So go check that one out as well. And I will be posting lots of new records this week. I went record store shopping, and I did a bunch of listening sessions, and I ended up with a lot of very, very cool albums. I can show you a little bit of a preview of some of them. This Grateful Dead album, this is Anthem of the Sun. This is an original pressing of the album, and it's on the green Warner Brothers label, and this is very, very cool. If you're into the Grateful Dead, you know this is like one of the holy grail Grateful Dead pressings to have. Then I had someone on the website send me an email and asked me to find the best sounding version of this Rush album, which is Moving Pictures. This has a bunch of Rush's most famous songs like Tom Sawyer, and let's see, YYZ is another really, really famous Rush song. I don't know that much about Rush, to be perfectly honest with you, but I will tell you that this sounds amazing. Just from the standpoint of a person that listens to records a lot, which I do, this is a very, very, very good sounding record, and this will be up on the website very, very soon. So if you're into Rush, keep an eye out for that. Then I've spent a lot of time, and as I'm sure a lot of you who've been watching my videos know, this is one of my favorite Rolling Stones albums. This is Tattoo You, and I finally, after I went through, I think, like 9 copies of this album, I found this one, and this is so clean, it's unbelievable, and it sounds just amazing. So stay tuned for this album as well. And another Rolling Stones album that will be on there very, very shortly. This is their album, It's Only Rock and Roll, which I also love. And this is a very, very excellent sounding record as well. It will be on there very soon. And in fact, I have a bunch of Rolling Stones records on the website right now. So make sure to check those out. And I lowered the price on a bunch of those because a lot of those I posted to the website like very early on, and I'm realizing now, like, I think I overshot a little bit. So the price on those have been dropped. So go check those out, the Rolling Stones records. And then, last but not least, this Graham Nash album, Wild Tales, which sounds unbelievable. I'm a huge Graham Nash fan, and I just actually finished reading his book that he put out, which is called Wild Tales. But this is his second solo album, and this sounds just absolutely amazing. This will be up on the website as well. So go to needlemeetsvinyl.com, check out what's happening over there, and check out for sure this Beatles Magical Mystery Tour German stereo pressing, because it is one of the best you will ever hear. Actually, it's the best you will ever hear. I'll say that because I feel that confident about it. So head on over, check it out, needlemeetsvinyl.com, and stay tuned. I will be having a review of the Abbey Road 3LP box set. That's coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. So bye for now.